Hello, this is Blue Star, Defender of Equestria, and this is my next Afterthoughts review to Enchantment Under the Sea. Even though it wasn't quite how I expected this meeting to go, it was just so nice, and in some ways a classic episode of MLP. So, roar! My first thoughts are that, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. This is not how I expected this meeting to go. I was expecting the meeting of Destiny and Izzy to go like, oh my gosh, Izzy, I'm just so glad to see you again. I'm glad you're okay. It's like, oh, Destiny, I'm just so happy to see you. This is great. Yay! Or something like that. I know I've said this a lot, but yeah, the last time that Destiny saw Izzy, she was being flung through a portal into who knows where, and she probably doesn't even know if she's okay or not, so no! It does honestly feel like there was an episode that should have come before this, or maybe we haven't yet seen that episode yet. I hope the latter, but probably not. I was like, oh, Izzy is in contact with Destiny somehow, and even received this invitation to Destiny's birthday party, so, when did that happen? So, oh well, I guess you could argue that this is just the 5-minute format thing, and or this is an animatic. It's a tool for pre-production, which means that just because they produced the animatic doesn't necessarily mean that the final episode would have been this way. This is in some ways almost the first draft of an episode, and Dokanubis actually released a animatic from the previous season of an alternate version of Attack of the Bunniest. So, you know, maybe there was a previous episode and maybe they decided not to make it, or maybe if they had, you know, finished the production of this episode, maybe it would have turned out differently, but oh well. But having said that, this episode is still really good. I mean, it was so much fun. Izzy and Destiny together to see the sea ponies and seeing, you know, the Maritime Bay ponies having fun underwater and stuff, and it was lovely. But it's time to play. I know it's an animatic, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I really wish this wasn't an animatic because it would have been so cool in full production. This animatic doesn't do the story, the environments, and all this stuff any justice because we only get these little sketches of this underwater world, and to see it in its all fully rendered glory would have been awesome. Of course, it is what it is, but we did get to see the story, and overall it was a pretty good story, so in some ways, it's a classic episode of MLP and of this generation that, oh no, we forgot to give Destiny a birthday gift, so every pony go out and find a really cool seashell, and then we'll come back and we'll make this really cool, like, friendship necklace that represents all of us, and yay! Oh, that was so nice! And of course, Izzy somehow making the shell phone. Just like Destiny, I'm not exactly sure how this is supposed to work, but I think this is a great idea because they literally live in two different worlds and they're pretty far apart. Yeah, having some way for Izzy and Destiny to communicate on a more regular basis would be a really good idea. So, roar. I do love Destiny in this episode. She's just so much fun and she's so adorable. When Izzy describes the shell phone to her, it's just like, no, but I love it. Aww. And that kind of makes sense. The sea ponies don't appear to have any kind of technologies. They're like, yeah, I have no idea how this thing works, but I don't care because I love this idea. Yay! And I did like how they got around the whole how do we breathe underwater thing. It's a little kind of weird in some ways. It's like somehow they get these like bubbles of air around their heads and stuff, and okay. And I did kind of like the thing with the giant clam, because if Blue Star was here, he'd be like, are you sure getting inside a giant clam is a good idea? I'll follow you ponies anywhere, but I didn't sign up to be eaten today. Or any day for that matter, so I don't know if this would work, but it was kind of a clever idea, and it did kind of fit the whole sea pony thing, and I like that. So yeah, overall, this was a pretty fun episode. There was a lot of interesting things kind of going on. Each of the main 6 kind of had their own little moment. Zip is actually like flying underwater, like at super high speeds, but unfortunately, she might want to watch where she's going, because she almost knocked to two, sea pony kids out of the way. Hitches, of course, was getting in touch with the sea creatures and the stingrays, and I kind of like the bit with, Pip's hair and stuff. At first, I didn't quite understand it, I guess because, you know, it's an animatic. She really liked the hairdo that this, like, octopus or whatever gave her, and after taking off, like, one of the shells of, like, a hair clip, it still looks cute, doesn't it? Right? Right? Yes, it does, Pip. It looks lovely. But once they get back to Maritime Bay, the whole thing starts to unravel because, I guess it only works underwater. So, aww. And it was also, in some ways, one of the few episodes where Pip is acting almost the way that I expect a character like Pip to act. We're going to a party, but I haven't styled my mane and done my 6-step pony pamper process, so, Obviously, her mane and stuff is important, but she, for the most part, isn't gonna freak out about it. But in this episode, she kind of does, which I guess kind of makes sense, because Izzy's just springing this on them. Oh, by the way, we're going to a party. And in some ways, it's more about that. It's like, what? I'm totally unprepared for this. Why didn't you tell us about this, Izzy? And of course, the big thing is, well, they're going underwater, so her mane will probably get all wet and stuff at some point. So it probably really won't matter. Although at the same time, actually, with the giant air bubbles, actually their manes and theories don't get all wet. So so yeah, overall this episode was actually pretty fun and I enjoyed it. I mean, yeah, I'm slightly disappointed that we didn't in some ways get to see the quote-unquote reunion of Izzy and Destiny, but they did have some lovely moments together, and it's just so nice seeing these two back together again and just being friends, and nah. Each of the main 6 kind of had their own little moment. We got to see Izzy and Destiny together, we got to see the world of the sea ponies, and overall it was a fun episode and I enjoyed it, and I hope that we get to see more of Izzy, Destiny, and the Maritime Bay ponies because they just had such a lovely friendship together, and I look forward to seeing more. So that is the end of my afterthought review of Enchantment Under the Sea. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you for commenting, liking, subscribing, and until next time, this is Blue Star. Stay strong and pony on. Blue Star out.